Hello and welcome to Our Age, Our View. I'm Julie Connors, sitting here with Cindy Healy and Meg Connors. And today we're going to talk about the things you should be aware of when hiring a caregiver privately to come work in your home. Not through an agency, but just somebody you find on the internet, somebody that is a friend of a friend who's been doing this. Doesn't matter, just there's some things that we feel you should know. So one of the things that we've talked about that I find to be incredibly important is making sure somebody is background checked. There's a couple different avenues to this. About 3.5 or 4 years ago now, California actually passed a law and created something called the HCA Registry, Home Care Association. And so caregivers who work through an agency such as myself now are automatically enrolled in that registry. They pay a fee, they're background checked, it's all the fingerprinting, goes to FBI, Department of Justice, California Department of Social Services. But those caregivers can also do this on their own, and a lot of them do. So one of the questions when interviewing somebody is, are you in the registry already? Because if they are, they can give you their number and you can look them up. It's a searchable database and you'll have their background clearance. Otherwise, it would be important if hiring somebody maybe through a care.com to run the background check or find another way of running a background check. You should never have somebody coming to work in your home that has not had a background check.
The basic premise is that there are lots of people in the world that are good people that don't always follow the laws as they are, and they're not trying to hurt anybody, and they're not trying to be dishonest. But for you, as the person that needs a caregiver, there are a lot of liabilities that come with hiring someone not from an agency. And one of them is workers' comp insurance, which Meg will talk about in just a minute, and also the whole concept of labor laws. Each state has their own labor laws for caregivers, and whether someone is a subcontractor or a technical employee, there are tons of labor rules with overtime and holidays, and
there's sick time now as well.
There is, that's right.
Sick time.
That's right, in California. And also, some people believe that if they write their own employment agreement for someone, that somehow they know labor law and that they've done the right thing. It is much more important to talk to a labor law attorney and have them give you a sample of an employment contract so that you are protected and covered from anything that
and also talking to your accountant.
Yes, the accountant would be for the payroll taxes and those kinds of things.
And then in regards to workers' compensation, it's very important that you have your caregiver covered by workers' compensation. If you own your own home, it's usually carried within your homeowner's insurance, but if you're a renter, that's a whole nother problem. And if you have a caregiver that has an injury, goes to the emergency room, and they find out that the caregiver was working, then that's considered workers' compensation, and that's just opened a whole can of worms.
And not every insurance policy, home insurance policy, has a clause to deal with caregivers.
Exactly.
So you have to check that also.
Yeah, they're going to want more information. Then they might change your premium costs based on that. But simply calculating workers' comp insurance premium amounts, I mean, there's just a lot involved. So again, I think what we always talk about is the importance of a team and having that team. And in a situation like this, that's when going to your attorney, going to your accountant, talking with your team is so important.
To make sure you get it right.
Yes. And with that, if you have any questions for the three of us, please feel free to email us at cynthiahealy2018@gmail.com, and we'll do our very best to provide you with the best answers we have. Thank you for joining us today.